Oh god, kill me. It's time for the Act 6, Intermission 3. It's time to begin the fucking bubbler arc. Jesus Christ. Alright, we are playing as Mina. You got a dirty old fedora. Totally useless. This nasty trash isn't coming anywhere close to your head. Doesn't even have horn holes. Looks like something an archaeologist would wear. I wonder whose memory this is even supposed to be. Hornless troll Indiana Jones hat. Pardon me. Hashtag troll Indiana Jones hat. We must be vigilant for secrets and goodies. You got a double trident. You already have one of these, but there ain't nothing wrong with stowing a little more solid gold in your inventory. You got an extravagant ghostly princess lifestyle to maintain. Gold, hashtag gold, hashtag dollars, hashtag booyah. Who is that? Oh, motherfucker, goddammit. Pussy's in the afterlife again. I mean, he already was, but he's still there, I guess. Hey, it's Aradia, and she's alive. Greetings! I've been meaning to say hello since you arrived. Huh. Megiddo? Hashtag, hell no. Yes, but not the one you're thinking of. Which one, then? I like to consider myself as something of a caretaker for this place. Hashtag, you know, hashtag the afterlife. I'd refer to myself as an excellent host, but that has become kind of a loaded phrase. You look like Megiddo, but you sure don't sound like any Megiddo I know. I should hope not. Anyway, those of us who are concerned with the preservation of reality have been looking forward to this day for some time. Hashtag, even though time is really just a figure of speech here. Why would you be looking forward to this shit? Hashtag, the sky just broke. Hashtag, stupid fairy. Not the devastation so much as your arrival. You have some big plans, yes? Hashtag, maybe. What's it to you? Oh, nothing. I'm merely extending the courtesy of a formal welcome. Now off with you. Go find your friends. That is why you finally come out of your palace, isn't it? Yeah. Guess I'll get going then. Hashtag, but I got my eye on you. Hashtag, Megiddo looking fairy. Ta! So we can rebubble this memory, mark it with a heart, or mark it with a spade. No thanks. Can I talk to again? No, okay. Not the sort of game where talking to people produces different results, unless something specifically has happened to cause that. Jesus Christ. You got some ancient serpent bones. Again, a strange thing to find, but who here would have a memory of these? Huge prehistoric green serpents have always played a major role in your people's mythology, both before and after your session scratched. Of course, only people with an interest in ancient lore and dusty old bones give a crap about that. You're much more interested in their monetary value. Hopefully you can find a sucker to pay up for them big time. Hashtag, where's the prawn shop in this bitch? There seems to be some connection with... lost? I, went the wrong way. Yes, that's a dead end. Where you want to go is that way. Double pistol hands. Hashtag, and a wink. Thanks, weirdo. So there seems to be some connection with the aspect of life and money. All three life characters we've run into all are incredibly wealthy. You got some boondollars. Hashtag ka-ching. It's not much, but you pocket the loot without a second thought. The bankroll's been a little slack since you died, and every bit helps on your climb back to obscene wealth. Hashtag broke. No attention being paid to the craters. Ooh. Hell yeah. That would be the cities of Alternia below. I'm sorry, whatever her planet's name is. Unless it's also Alternia. You got a Scalemate plush. Hashtag Pyrospite. Holy shit, you're never gonna stop hugging this thing ever. Hashtag highly desirable merchandise. You got a thing of mortar oil. Hey, this bottle even has the label intact. Typically, the label is ripped off and applied to chalk murals. The fact that it still has a label makes it much more valuable as a collector's item. Always gotta be mindful of the cash value of the useless shit you find around. Hashtag PS. Hashtag you take a little sip. Hashtag it tastes awful. Why would you drink oil, Mina? You crazy? You got a bronze potion. This stuff is supposed to make you kiss good, but the side effect of mild to total paralysis? Wait a minute, this is just some troll blood. Oh, yuck. Hashtag you throw it off a cliff. Wait, you hear something nearby. Is that sobbing? Trail of ape. Oh, hello. Yo, orange guy. Or yellow guy? Hashtag squash colored? What's your deal? Hashtag what the fuck is all of these 8 balls? Are you crying? Hashtag awkward. Silence! Bring me a horse and I am yours forever. Alright, fair enough. You got a bloody cherub tooth. The fact that this is in a chest here is kind of disturbing to you in ways you can't really explain. You think you'll try to sell this thing to the highest bidder as soon as possible. Hashtag or whoever makes the first offer. You got a boombuck. Now we're talking. This should get your broke ass off the canvas. It's such a crime that the insane fortune you accumulated in your game doesn't persist after you die. You guess it's true. You really can't take it when you go to the other side. Hashtag but once you're there, hashtag you can try to make it back in a fucking hurry. God, I love the concept of just like clashing biomes. Like a dream. Hashtag you got a juju. No, an effigy to be precise. It has magical properties binding it to the mortality of someone, depending on what it weighs. Hey, maybe you'll hang on to this tree? Nah, that's a bit morbid. Hashtag you'll just hawk it at some chump. Alrighty then. Ooh, to the land of brains and fire, eh? Hey, you got a bunch of throwing stars. Whoa, these are badass. Maybe you'll keep a few instead selling them all. Hashtag unless someone blows you away with an offer, of course. Hey, it's Alex's old throwing stars. Not that I imagine he has much use for them. Although, with his psionics, oh, is this just a circle? It is not just a circle. Diverging paths. I'm gonna go back to the brains and fire, pardon me. I could check the map, but I don't know, I don't want to resort to that just yet. Until or unless I feel like I've missed something. You know, always follow the left path and all that jazz. Or maybe they all lead to the same place. Damn it, I think they all lead to the same place. Dave _ E-Bubbles, Chekhov's juice. You got a pair of timetables. Use these to travel through time, which in the furthest range doesn't always mean much. Traveling back in time could also transport you millions of light sweeps away. Probably better to just sell them to an eccentric billionaire. Hashtag, oh, like that kid across the water there. You bet he's loaded. He is indeed. Great customer. Oh my god. You got an echidna statue, and obviously not to scale depiction of the denizen Arania consulted with to learn how to scratch your session. The decision to scratch, of course, came with major consequences, and you guess it's only now that the true extent of those consequences are fully apparent. Looks like it's time to clean up her mess. Hashtag, oh, you can also probably make bank off this thing. But Arania's denizen isn't echidna. Can characters talk to other denizens? Talk to Arania. There you are. Haven't seen much of you since you joined us in the afterlife. I know you're royalty and all, but it isn't very sociable of you to lock yourself in your lavish moon hive forever. Hashtag, everyone has missed you. Well, I'm here now, aren't I? Yes, and it's a good thing you are. I was just about to come find you, so we could discuss the recent calamity out in the abyss. Hashtag wordplay. Hashtag 8-letter words. Hashtag, oh, yes. Yeah, so you saw it too, huh? Explosions. That was the guy, right? Hashtag skull guy. Hashtag laser breath. Lord something. Hashtag Clamaborn. What'd you say his shit was again? I try to avoid saying his true name. Hashtag bad juju. What's it matter? He's already here, ain't he? Hashtag. I guess, but yes, the Lord of Time was responsible for the destruction of that dream bubble and the murder of all those innocent ghosts. Hashtag ghost murder. Hashtag second death. Hashtag solicide. Innocent ghosts? Killing ghosts is a thing that can happen is seriously the dumbest shit I ever heard. Hashtag dumb. I don't make the rules, Mina. I merely observe them and explain them thoroughly to anyone who will listen. Hashtag like you. Yeah. Last thing I need is an enemy more of your lobstervations. Hashtag fish punks. Hashtag 2x combo. Hashtag booyah. Anyway, that explosion kicked ass. Explosions rule the school. Hashtag like a school of fishes. I agree that it's more excitement than we've seen here for millennia, but all of us here in the afterlife are in serious danger of being exterminated. Hashtag, again? Yeah, I got that. I figured I'd have to be the hero and bail you suckers out again. Hashtag, this time I might not even blow y'all up with a bomb. Oh, really? What exactly is your plan? Hashtag, I'm very curious. To get all those ghosts here to team up and kill that asshole. Hashtag, What? Oh, Mina, that's such a terrible idea. Hashtag poor death choices. Yeah, right. Like you have a better idea. As a matter of fact, I do. Ask about friends. So where is them every mobby? I want to talk to them about something. Hashtag dead Franz. Hashtag ghost bros. Hashtag haunt pals. I don't know. I believe most of our friends have gathered in this dream bubble. You should be able to find them if you explore just a bit. What do you want to talk to them about? Gotta get the gang back together. Hashtag Alpha Troll reunion, yo. Take down the douche of time. You say he's invincible, but I think that's exactly the kind of loser BS that made us lose like a bunch of fucking losers in the first losing place. Hashtag losers. Hashtag losing experts. Hashtag lost masters. Hashtag fail pros. We can do it if we all, like, work together and shit. Hashtag team fork, lol. If we build an army. Hashtag, or maybe a ghost army. Think of how glub and sick would that be? Hashtag so sick. Sick perhaps, but not a very good strategy. You'll just be leading everyone into permanent oblivion. At least you will without coming with a better plan first. Then what's your awesome idea? To be a little more patient. Patient. Pisces. Hashtag alliterative assonance. I've been following clues regarding the whereabouts of a secret weapon that may be the key to defeating him. Oh, really? What's the weapon? The weapon? Weapon, I mean, is not a what, but a who. Hashtag weapon, really, Mina? She's the other cherub, the Lord's female counterpart, who once occupied the same body. Hashtag aliens. But when they reached maturity, his personality dominated the host, assuming complete control. Hashtag xenobiologically fascinating species. She technically died that day, and now her spirit presumably roams somewhere out here in the furthest ring. Hashtag, or so the legend goes. We need to find her before he does. He will surely want to finish her off. Cherub. What? Okay, I didn't really follow any of that junk, so you just go right ahead and find your cherub girl. I'm gonna be right there building my ghost army, biatch. Hashtag ghost army, biatch. F yeah. Very well, best of luck with that. But try to remember it has been a very long time since any of our friends have done anything important at all. Hashtag like almost eternity. It may be more difficult to find recruits for your army than you think. Hashtag I hope you like frustrating conversations. Please. Okay, I admit that most of them were chumpy as globes when we was trying to win our game. Hashtag chumps, shame globes, chumpiness, globage. But this time when I'm through with them, they'll be the loyal murderous mob of cherub fucking fury our people were always supposed to be. And if you don't think I can do that, then need I remind you who I grew up to be in some other dimension or whatever? Hashtag Batter Witch, Water Witch, OMFG, yes, 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 yes! You needn't remind me at all, your condescension. I believe you were hatched to be a tyrant, and I pray that your campaign of bullying and intimidation goes swimmingly. Aw, you're the best, Circuit. Come here. Alright, now where does this go? The long way around? Yes. Dave_ebubbles. Be fucking dad of the year right there. You got the Thorns of Oglogoth. Any sane adventurer would cast these instruments of the cult into the furthest ring and forget they ever existed, and it looks like someone did just that. Hashtag a wise move. Hello, Rose. Alright, we have a Dave and we have a Rose. Looks like we're gonna talk to Rose first. Hey! Hello. It's, you! Yeah. Human, right? Hashtag, where the horns at? Oh, so weird. That's right. Rose, more specifically. Who cares? Listen, human girl, want to ask you something. You're not very good at this, are you? What? Talking to people? Hey, F you! It's okay that you are. I'm not trying to criticize. Hashtag, I could kind of relate, actually. I've heard some things about you. That pink rocky environment back there, that's a memory of your home, right? Hashtag Beforeign Moon. Ah. So, perhaps their planet was called Beforeign? No, it'd be like before something. Oh, very funny. You renounced the throne and ran away to the moon, didn't you? And then you lived there completely alone for how many years? What are years? I think I'm starting to lose track of what a year is myself. That seems to be what happens when you spend enough time out here. Hashtag Abyss Madness. Hashtag Meteor Fever. I'm just curious about you. You seem like an interesting person who probably has a lot of stories to tell. Hashtag also, I like your braids. From what I understand, you discovered something on the moon which originally contained your copy of the game. Is that true? Hashtag ... Maybe we could spend some time together and get to know each other. When you have the chance, of course. Man, you're like an alien Windfang. All wordy and nosy and nice to me for no discernible reason. Hashtag alt pun, discernible. You even have the same cod-tier jammies on. Hashtag goddamn ugly. Just another bright orange blubbermouth. Hashtag fuchsia blows orange out of the water. Let's just forget I said anything, okay? Ask Rose to join. So, extra talky human. It's me again. Hey, got a poor position for you. You know that bad guy? Just wrecked the sky and killed some dead mofos? Lord English? Yes, I know of him. Want to team up with me and kill him, or? Absolutely. Yay! But later. Hashtag much later, really. God fucking damn it. We can't interrupt the plan which has been put into inexorable motion. Or for that matter, the meteor we're traveling on, which has been similarly propelled. Hashtag Troll Isaac Newton. We have to rendezvous with our rebooted ancestors, as it were, and help them win their game. Hashtag Alpha Players. Team Guardians. Fun. In the process, we will ideally become stronger and more experienced. Only then will we be ready to help you defeat him. Hashtag Additional Fun. Oh my glove, you really are circuiting the fuck out of this. Come on, stop overplanning and let's all just fly away together and wreck his shit. There are like billions of ghosts out here, right? We got numbers on our side. Yes, but even if I agree, I couldn't just fly away with you now. I'm not even standing here. I'm asleep on our meteor. This is a dream projection you're talking to. Kind of like a hologram, I guess? What? You're new to dream bubbles, aren't you? I would be more than happy to explain to you how they work in extensive detail. Ugh. Light players. Later, Rosefang. You got a copy of Complacency of the Learned. Wow, this looks really... It just disappeared from your hand in a crazy blur. What the... Oh, that human girl has it. Well, she looks like she's enjoying it a lot more than you ever would. You'll let her have this one. Hashtag probably wasn't worth jack anyway. Hello, Kanaya. Oh, hey, the Miriam-looking girl. What's the deal with you? The deal with the Miriam-looking girl is that she is wondering what the deal is with the Pixies-looking girl, and specifically why the former has piqued the latter's curiosity. Hashtag the deal with things, the topic of wonder, people-looking people. Why? Dunno. Seems to me two Miriams is overdoing it a bit. Hashtag, I mean, two captives, I'd understand. One was more than enough. The same thing occurred to me. You aren't much like the one we had. Hashtag you talk weird. Kinda tough act to follow, to be fair though. The same thing occurred to me yet again. Hashtag things that are the same and how they occur to people. Looks like you got the rainbow drinker thing going on. Hashtag damn, you're blinding me, girl. The goggles do nothing. I suppose. So, you go around looking like that all the time, or? To my knowledge, yes. Hashtag kind of personal? Heh. Is there an alternative degree of autoluminescence I should be aware of? And if so, how foolish should I feel for only learning about it now? Hashtag on a scale of 1 to idiot. I'm no drinker buff, but yeah, our Miriam figured out how to control it. Really? She probably had more time to figure it out than you, though. So, when you're stuck in a busted session for 3 sweeps without much to do, you figure some stuff out about yourself. So, now my buzzbug wax, but maybe you should ask her. Buzzbugs. Heh. I don't think so. Why not? I'd like to, but I can't get up the nerve. Ah, come on. She's cool. Hashtag, you check out her ink yet? Fucking dope. Yes. She is an amazing person. It is very intimidating. I had the same feelings of trepidation the last time I encountered someone I admired. Oh yeah? Who was that? Huh. You mean her over there? Talky girl in the orange nighty jammies? I see. Saw you two hanging together last time. She a G-Fron? The red sword, I mean? Maybe? Hashtag additionally bashful blank hashtags. That's adorbs, yo. Ask Kanaya to join. Hey, Miriam lookalike, let's go kick the fuck out of Skullzilla. I was about to respond favorably, but then I glanced over at Rose, and she was just shaking her head at me very slowly and kind of knowingly. Hashtag, the limitless mysteries of her wisdom know no bounds. Human sarcasm. No, you silly drinker, she's just fucking with you. Oh, probably. But let's be realistic here. The answer was probably going to be no anyway. Hashtag bad plan. Alright, well, guess I'm gonna go drink Skull Guy's blood all by myself then. I bet it tastes really bad. Hashtag gross monster blood. Yeah. Well, later. Oh. You got a sewing machine. Oh, this looks really expensive. You bet you could... Wait, what's she looking at? The Miriam girl is looking at you funny? What, is this thing hers? You don't want to start any trouble over this dumb gizmo. You slowly put it back in the chest, very casually, like it ain't no thing. Hashtag, you'll come back and swipe it later when she's not around. So is there a way back to the beach to talk to Dave? Because I'm not surrendering a Dave conversation. Hey, there he is! It's the guy! Is he grinding against the little dude's shoulder? What's even going on? Talk to Dave. Hey, Gabe guy. You're, human. What's this, Gabe? Hashtag with the shades? That's exactly my name. Hashtag, see also, Shaggy2Gabe. Everyone stupidly insists on calling me Dave, though. So, Dave Gabe, where's your bro? My bro? He's dead. Hashtag, like the ghostless kind of dead, I think. Unless you mean the kid version, as in the guy we saw with the pointy shades. Hashtag kid bro. What the fuck? I remember he grabbed my sleeping teen mom and flew off, and that was the last I saw of him. Hashtag, that's sort of what he does. Just vanishes like a mysterious motherfucker. No, not that guy. Actually, I gave him a sweet high five a little while ago, but that's not who I mean. Hashtag, one of the best high fives ever. Hashtag, dude's a pro. What? When did you give him a high five? Why wasn't I informed of this high five that took place? Hashtag, not cool. Who cares? I'm talking about your other bro. The cool shouty guy who got PO'd and went to the clam scray the F out. Hashtag Mad Vantis. Oh, Karkek, you mean. I don't know, he's around. I saw him talking to his ancestor a while ago. Hashtag, or, being talked to. Don't think he likes him very much. Hashtag hilarious tool party. What? Shouty shouldn't be hanging out with that glovin' dork. I doubt he actually wants to, but you know how it is with ancestors. Hashtag ancestors. You know how it is. Okay, maybe you don't, since I guess you're actually an ancestor yourself. Or you were to some dead girl I never met, but anyway. Hashtag, I think her name was Fury or something. They just seem to, I don't know, have this inexplicable power over you. I mean, look at Kanai over there. She's a fucking shambles about hers. Hashtag shambles, Kanaya, yeah. Like, it isn't even rational or anything it isn't even rational or anything. They just represent something you measure yourself up to. Hashtag, dude, come on, get the ruler. Even though they probably aren't all that cracked up to be. It just kind of gets in your head, you know? Nah, my answer system's fucking lame. Oh, Toe, in the other Tooniverse, I grew up to be an ice-cold murder bitch in charge of everybody, which makes perfect sense. Hashtag, including a pair of human clown slam poets? So the only one I got to measure up to is me, and it turns out I measure up pretty good. Hashtag, fuchsia ruler. And on that day, human what's-his-cape learned that the only real treasure was a poor sense of self-esteem. Hey, he thanked the punky girl, Sea Princess, for her radical wisdom, and then she went away. I think that maybe I was just home. Ask Dave to join. Yeah, I saw it. I was looking up in space doing a little monster gazing, right? Hashtag Dave's private chill time. Eldritch red lobster. Bargain seafood buffet. Bored. When suddenly I thought my shades shattered. Hashtag Ben Stiller almost fucking tornadoed in his grave. But it wasn't the shades, turned out it was space itself that cracked. Hashtag fucking relief. Best bro gave me these. And I listened and I heard the screams and killing and stuff. Monsters dying. Ghosts dying. Atrocious problems. I haven't slept well since then. Well, I guess I'm sleeping alright at the moment. Hashtag, oh yeah, I forgot. Because I'm here in the bubble talking to you, but yeah, in general my shut-eye's been boned up the protein shoot. Hashtag troll anatomy. Lewd, maybe? Keeping myself busy with awesome projects helps a bit, I guess. Hashtag awesome projects. Then you must want to kill that guy even worse than me. Why don't you join me? We can fly away and fuck him up together. What is it? Hashtag, what good is a cape even if you won't fly away to clobber bad guys? Nope. Hashtag, nah. Appreciate the offer, but I'm just gonna hang tight and work on my e-bubbles. Hashtag Dave _ e-bubbles. What? E-bubbles. They're pretty awesome. Hashtag, how is this not awesome? It's just some ridiculous shit I figured out how to do here. This whole place runs on memory, so I've been messing around with that. Hashtag, just as long as you don't ask me how, we are cool. Turns out, I don't even really need the internet for shenanigans. I can just exploit the afterlife itself. The fuck? I know you're down in the dumps, kid, but that sounds like a stupid waste of time. Hashtag stupid waste of time. Now come on, let's go wail on a cherub. Nah. Hashtag yes, let's. Hashtag just fucking with you. No. I mean, I think I might be supposed to kill him anyway. Hashtag air quotes. That's the feeling I get that, like, there are all these clues around that I've kind of noticed. Hashtag remember the bullshit about the pimp being in the crib? Oh my god. So if I am the guy that needs to take him down, then fine, I'll do that if and when I get hornswoggled into some big showdown with a ridiculous green space pimp or whatever he is. I heard he has a gold tooth. Are you fucking kidding me? I don't know, I think I'm not really cut out for the whole reluctant hero shtick. Hashtag better at comics. I think the whole scene is so obvious and trite, I can't even tell if my reluctance is ironic or if I'm playing it straight. Hashtag reluctant before it was cool and before I was willing. Like, I'll wonder if I'm being reluctant enough to cut it, or if I'm actually just being reluctant to be reluctant. Hashtag how reluctant do you even have to be to do something like that, etc, etc. It turns into like a meta reluctance, and then all I can think about is how fucking stupid the whole thing is. Hashtag I also think about puppets sometimes. Unrelated. I think I'm probably just too self-aware for this hero bullshit, so that don't even waste your time on me. Hashtag ironic self-pity. Wow. So cool! Not. Be Dave. Wait. You want to be me? Hashtag air quotes. Yeah, why not? Okay, well, without getting too deep into the issue of how absurd that request is on the very face of it. Hashtag a face presently being palmed. It's just not gonna happen. I mean, not yet anyway. Not this early. In your little dream bubble quest you got going on here. Shut up, dog. Just let me walk around as you and stuff. Hashtag pocket peeps in your cool kid way. Maybe play a different tune? Nah. Why? I really don't think we should get too meta about this. Just, look. You're on a mission to gather up all your dead friends and build an army or something. Hashtag I can't believe I'm even explaining this. Personally, I think that's a shitty idea, but you're clearly motivated to do that. Yeah. So why would you waste your time going around being other people? It doesn't make any fucking sense. For instance, you can't be anybody in this fucking sandy beach area because you ostensibly, you're just charging through this place looking for your friends. Damn it, try to play the part at least somewhat. Hashtag already too meta. I give the fuck up. Aw, man. Maybe when you catch up with your posse, you can get some of these. You can be some of those guys. Yo, maybe you can be some of us too after the whole thing you're trying to do winds up being this huge predictable disappointment. But that would have to be in a different area. What area? Like a different goddamn bubble zone. Like someone's memory of a magic fucking forest or some home village or some shit. I don't know, just somewhere the fuck else. Now go away. Hashtag of this, let us never speak again. Be Dave? Bitch, please. Fine. Alright. Ooh. You got a Dursite tabloid. Says some human girl is dead. You don't recognize her. Inside is the usual kind of sensationalizing sleaze you're used to seeing from these. You spent a long time on Durst during your game. You always enjoyed reading these. They were almost always about assassinations. Hashtag some of which were yours. You got a Juju. What's up with all these Jujus lying around? Jujus are very wide-ranging sorts of magical objects. You never know what form they'll take. This one's particularly useless, though. It has the power to travel through time into the future, only, though. Hashtag at exactly 1 second for 1 second. It feels more like a space artifact. I bet apparently you can fit a lot of guys in there. You got a fuchsia potion. Legend says this enchanted potion is supposed to... Oh god, is this more troll blood? Wait, is this royal blood? What an absolute outrage that probably some commoner had the audacity to draw royal blood. You're almost mad enough to not give it... to not give a shit. Hashtag you chuck it over the edge. Hashtag glass shatters. Someone below says, ow. Okay. Alright, so I think I need to go around the other way to get to the stairwell. Hold on. Fuck it. I'm opening the map. Oh, never mind. There's a thing. I did not see the hallway next to Dave. I only saw the stairs. I see a flight of stairs. I walk up a flight of stairs. It's simple as that. Okay? I did not even see this causeway at all. Alrighty then. Ooh! You got a Sufferer pendant. Exhibiting the sign of the signless. The story of the Sufferer got really popular among your old crew as a kind of religious fad after everyone died and learned the stories of their post-scratch lives. Irenia especially seems to have brought into this nonsense hook, line, and sinker. She never wore anything like that around her neck before she died. You wonder if people have gotten so into it just to bug Vantas. You just know it probably pisses them off, seeing people wear this thing all the time. Hashtag, how'd you think of it? Maybe you'll wear one too. You got a lance. Whose memory is this? This thing has really made the rounds. Let's see, Tavros had it, but then it was impaled by it. The Black Queen had it, but used it as a cigarette holder sometimes, when she was Snowman. Spade Slick wielded it while riding around on a horse hitcher once. Snowman killed quarters with it, you think? That happened in the top banner though, so you might have missed it. Hashtag Mina has no idea what we're talking about. Ooh, you got a pair of horns. This is the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen. Why would anyone wear a second pair of horns? Unless maybe they were compensating for a particularly nubby pair. Oh, you got it. Humans wear these to pretend to be trolls. And also be less stupid looking. These clearly belonged to a human. Hashtag case closed. Problem solved. Yeah! You got a whole stack of boondollars. Keep them coming. You'll be rich again in no time. Pretty soon you'll own this place. Right after you save it from destruction, of course. Hashtag, how does this factor into a big silly Tumblr metaphor? Shrug. You got a whole heap of boondollars. Mo money. Some of these messages don't really make sense unless you're being mean, but you're not going to let that bother you. Hashtag deal with it. You got a Rag Ripper. A popular model from the Demonbane line of chainsaws. At least it was popular in Alternia. Your planet wasn't nearly badass enough for this thing to be sold legally. Before us was so lame. Hashtag lame planet names. So it was called Before Us. Alternia and Before Us. Or probably Before Us and Alternia. You got authentic religious memorabilia. These were the doodads adult post-scratch Vantas was trained up with when he died. You bet Circuit could fork over a ton of gold for this junk. Religious nuts are some of the biggest suckers around. Hashtag Irons, Suffer, Authentic. Or as authentic as Phantom Ghost memory items get. Ooh! You got a Juju. Looks like a magic egg timer. which you can use to travel through time, haphazardly and stupidly. It's the type of item that's severely prone to making a mess of the timeline. Need a Juju Breaker to destroy such an item and repair the damage it's done. But that kind of thing is extremely rare to non-existent. You don't have a single good guess what form such an item could take. Okay, you pried one hint out of me. Hashtag the number 7. I like to think that if you destroy a Juju, it just spontaneously apparates somewhere else. So like, it destroys the... Oh, fuck. So it destroys the effect on the timeline, but like, it can be found again. Like, we just found the egg... Like, the egg timer appearing here lends credence to that idea. Like, yeah, you can destroy it and stop it from fucking with things, but eventually it will be found again, and then it will start fucking with things again. Oh boy, okay. Talk. Hey, it's Shouty, but it looks like he's severely embroiled in really heavy discussion with your team's Vandus. You really don't feel like getting involved. Listen in on the conversation? Hashtag eavesdropping. Hashtag rude. Yes. Now, I realize we've been on this for some time already, but at the risk of derailing the dialogue you initiated, and may I just say how thrilled I am that you did, Karkat, I'd just like to qualify my entire analysis of your Alternian culture of saying that, in contrast with life on before us, while your people may have been engaged in violent, lethal clash struggle for millions of sweeps, by no means does this imply that the beforeign way of life was entirely without problematic elements. Okay, man, I think we need to show some, like, yeah, okay, I understand that before us had its problems, but trying to compare the two is kind of fucked up. Ah, yes, we were all literally enslaved and being killed on a daily basis. Well, you know, we had it bad too. Perhaps even more disturbing and insidious for their lack of acknowledgement and open discussion, particularly as a consequence of what, in my view, were widely and dismaying unexamined systemic social injustices, resulting from the entrenched power dynamics in play, dynamics strikingly similar to those of your planet's markedly more bellicose iteration, which has only served to fully vindicate my hypothesis that such a hierarchy is really predicated on intrinsic dysfunction and failure to shift all the usual narratives and undiagnosed problems into an open, judgment-free discourse, through which problematic issues are constructively channeled into more intelligently problematized avenues of discussion. Now, before I continue, it is only decent of me to warn you about certain triggers that are surely ahead in this essay, conversation. Triggers include, but likely will not be limited to, class oppression, culling culture, and violence against grubs, lusus abuse, complementary and analogous hate speech, pale-filling slurries, and other concupiscent fluids, lifespan shaming, ableist slurs, prolix dissertation. Probably, actually, maybe it'd be easier for you to list your triggers, and I'll do my best to avoid these topics, or navigate them more delicately, if at all possible. Hashtag trigger warnings, oppression, culling, grub violence, lusus abuse, hemophobia, pales, slurries. Poor Karkat. Great, it sounds like you don't have any triggers, at least none that you know about. I'll proceed with caution nevertheless. Just please let me know if you're starting to feel triggered by anything I'm saying, and we can take a brief timeout while you summon your Moriel to help pacify you, assuming you have one. Not that I'm presuming you do, but I heard that you did. Is that correct? If not, I apologize. I further apologize if your orientation precludes the possibility, as a pale, aromantic, pan-quadrant, demi-romantic, something in the grey pale sexual compartment, or such, and hopefully you are not triggered by such presumptuous conciliative language. It wouldn't be the first time I was guilty of such an inexcusable microaggression, and I am not so oblivious to my own romantic privilege to believe it will be the last time either. Hashtag conciliative permittivity, microaggressions, rom privilege, presumptuous moirails. I'm glad I brought up the subject of unexamined privilege because it dovetails beautifully with the point I was about to make regarding beforeign society and its savage umbral potentiality, which later manifested through the kind of Alternian brutality you are all too familiar with. Those in the higher echelons of the hemospectrums, such as the ceruleans or blue bloods, careful being loose with such terminology and opening the floodgates to a whole host of toxic sinus language and hemophobic slurs, while addressing the challenges faced by those lower on the spectrum, such as the mid-hues, or in particularly warm casts like umbers, ochres, or rust bloods. Another slur, highly problematic, deeply offensive and triggering. Terminology, strongly imploring you steer clear of the term. They would be well advised to check their cerulean privilege, particularly before dismissing hardships or marginalizing claims of oppression, which can be difficult for them to identify or empathize with from their advantageous positions within the before and Alternian power structures. Dovetail. Hashtag dovetail. Problematic. Power structures. Toxic sinus language. And some may argue that in our peaceful utopian culture that we have freed ourselves from injustice and disparities in privilege in a post-scarcity economy, largely equal rights distributed across the chemospectrum, and therefore exist in a post-spectral world. Laugh out loud. But therefore there is no need to champion important social causes, and there is nothing left to debate. But really, nothing could be further from the truth. You just need to educate yourself and carefully investigate the long-standing power dynamics in play. For instances, a seemingly harmless remark from a cis-blooded cerulean toward an Umber or, God forbid, a Burgundy, or yes, even a warm identifying, physically cooler caste about their very long future plans, such as an order of centuries, then this may prove to be very hurtful microaggression, due to the fact that low hues cannot possibly live that long themselves, and the more privileged caste could easily outlive dozens of generations of mid-hues, hundreds of generations of boys? Burgundy, umber, ochre, yellow, greens. Note, please avoid describing the lattermost as lime bloods, as it has historically been used as an especially vicious epithet. Such remarks can further trigger painful reminders of how cooler castes, to some extent, OSHAs, OGJAs, but CIPs and Royal Vs in particular, have been able to use their tremendous lifespans over the millennia to gain a stranglehold over the social order, have been able to completely dictate our societal evolution by ensuring only their cultural agendas and narratives receive the dialogue's air supply, assuring the codification of those resultant ideals, and deciding what normalcy entails. And Jesus Christ. And sadly, these absolutes become internalized across the full spectrum range, even within those of the most compromised privilege, and so you begin to see the cyclical nature of the dysfunction and the resulting inertia against positive change and raising awareness of the most unproblematized issues, which I think we can agree on is pretty problematic. Cancri, does this have a fucking point? Are you trying to accomplish something, or are you just talking about the problems to make yourself sound smart? And really, it's everyone's business to examine their privilege, even Burgundies, who may be subject to the pitfall of believing incorrectly that there are none on the scale beneath them, whom they enjoy certain privileges over, which off-spectrum trolls will never know, such as those identifying as other bloods or caste multiples, polyblooded. Any who hemoglobically ID as having a caste which manifests nowhere, as yet known, in anyone physically, or for that matter, off-specs, who physically do possess such a blood type, or mutants, very problematic term, highly triggering to some, be warned, such as you and I, Carcat. But this puts us both in a situation which, to our knowledge, uniquely allows us to understand and emphasize with tragically underprivileged and unempowered groups across all scuttles of life, thus affording us both what I like to call a uniquely underprivileged privilege, which, yes, is a kind of privilege we should both strive to check as well, whenever we can. This same uniquely underprivileged perspective, as I'm sure you know, has disadvantaged upon my post-scratch duration as well, and while I have no doubt you justifiably came to revere that figure of your planet's rich history and your personal lineage, and while his goals of peace, equality, and a truly spectral-blind society, I'm afraid I personally have trouble condoning his methods. I don't like to use the terms problematic lightly. Oh really? But well, his tactics were nothing if not massively problematic to say the least. Employing violent uprising to effect change and emblazoning his mark upon history and his faithful followers with the salty flourish of a single rude shouted swear word, It's not to my taste, even though he is who I would have grown up to be in another life, but no, I prefer to effect social change through rational, honest discourse, in contributing to ongoing dialogues, focusing on what should be the real goals through keen adherence to the discipline of, I see. Violence is never justified. No, never. Don't you understand? You're both working to the same goal. Someone has to talk, and someone's got to break windows. Problematics. Ensuring that we stay focused on successfully problematizing a wide range of direly undercomplicated social dilemmas. Hashtag undercomplication, salty flourish, rude shouted swear word, spectra-blind society. It's nice to see we agree on so much. Maybe we are not so unalike, despite our drastically different upbringings. Anyway, as I was saying, the story of your ancestor, and more importantly, my exhaustive list of misgivings with his approach to social change, is quite a long and elaborate one, but it actually fits brilliantly within the larger mosaic which captures the broad strokes of my post. Our discussion. Trigger warnings for the following content include ancestor bashing, faith shaming, loud swearing, torture, burn wounds, ship sinking. Again, seriously, just let me know if you begin to feel triggered by anything, even slightly. We'll pause and see if we can really explore those issues, and identify exactly how I may have invalidated your struggles. Without further ado, the story is as follows. What? What? Oh no! 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 Jesus Christ. Can I talk to this guy? No. Nope. Absolutely not. Okay. Nope. Alright, we're good. What a fucking windbag. And sometimes I think I'm bad. Ooh. You got a pretzeled horse hitcher. Who could have done this to such a fine cast iron steed? Whoever it was must be incredibly strong, incredibly smug, and incredibly floppy when shaken. An incredible host. Alright, I think we need to go talk to the Miriam-looking girl over there. Ooh, oh my. You got a troll romance novel. Wow, this sure is some steamy, trashy literature here. It's making you perspire a little, and you're only 3 sentences into the title. Doesn't seem like anyone's looking. Maybe I'll just take one little peek inside. Whoops, it just disappeared in a blur. God damn it. Lalonde! Ooh. You got a Regicycle. Perfect for threshing royalty with. You could almost say you could use it to thresh princes. Hashtag troll Will Smith. Oh god. You got a magic cue ball. Hey, is this thing a juju too? It's a shame you can't see through its surface, so you'd be able to ask it yourself. This is another thing that's kind of unnerving to find here. Good thing it's only a memory object. Right? You got a bunch of licorice Scotty dogs. Oh man, these were the delicacy on your planet. The most valuable treat per pound by far. You have to be a very, very wealthy person to keep a great supply of these on hand. By selling these, you should be able to make most of your fortune back in one fell swoop. Hashtag, except you just ate most of them. Hashtag forfeit. Woo! Hello. Talk to Latula. Damn, girl! You finally made it. High five! You know it. I'm so fucking ghostly now. Right on, girl. Dream bubs rule. A life for life. What? Yeah, that would have sounded like for life, a life for life, like A's, A4s in after, but spoken as a number. Then 4 4s, a homonym for the proposition and stuff. Hashtag spoken quirk confusion. You know how it is. A girl's gotta sacrifice understandability for the sake of friendness sometimes. Preaching to the group of choral singers, Pyro. Choral singers? Oh, you mean choir. I get it, but choral as in the funky shit underwater instead. Still rocking the fish puns, I see. Well, that's not really the kind of radness I was talking about, but I'll let it slide. Hashtag puns, kinda lame. Hey, fuck you. Can't believe y'all go shitting on my fish puns right out of the blowhole like that. As if your numbers, BS, and Jack and Z's on the end of words is any more rad than my baller wordplay. Hashtag, or should I say, sword fish play. Nah, that one sucks. I mean, your skating and stunts are objectively rad, I'll give you that, but you need to get off your high seahorse because practically nothing else about you is especially radder than average. Oh, chill. Oh, chill, axe, Paycheck. I am so jerking your fork. I know we've had our issues before, but I could always see you as true rad girl cred. You don't even know how hard it was towing the rad load all by myself with you gone for so long. How hard it was. Hashtag towing loads harsh as my grinds. Do you even know how lame of a scene it is being the only legit in your face power gaming girl in a bunch of bubbles full of brutal posers? What I'm saying is, I'm psyched to have you back up. Back, MP. Hey, hit me up top. High five! Sure. Still wearing out the high fives, I see, even after all that. Like eternity? Hashtag still don't know how time works here. Fuck yeah, girl! Oh, never even got to congratulate you on how wicked your rad suicide bomb plan was. Hashtag killed the shit out of us. Never saw it coming. Sure never smelled it coming. Way smart, timing in just before the scratch so that God tiers didn't have a chance to revive before the reset, thus ironically leaving them to be erased from existence. Hashtag not that that really even needed explaining. That just occurred to me recently. Was opening the meal vault to make a freaking ghost snack when I was like, shit! Paycheck! I said all shaking my fist. Don't leave me hanging, girl. High five! Okay, one more pyro, but that's it. I did a good high five as much I dig a good high five as much as the next bad girl, but my god. Hashtag high five fatigue. Got this fresh pimp ghost bod, looking fine as fuck. I don't need calluses out my palms already. Haven't you heard an empress needs an iron so soft you can use it with polished gold? Ask the Tula to join. Question. Shoot, babes. Seeing as what a hot shit gamer girl you have a reputation for and all, I figured you'd be locked to join my party. I need to go fuck up Clamalord or whatever. Hashtag the Lord of Clams. Wait, who? Skull guy. Kills ghosts. Nope. Help me out, pay money. Don't you keep up with current events? Current like water current? Yes. You're reminding me why I thought you were way crazy, MP. Just freaking spill it. The shit in the sky. It cracked. A monster did that. Do you want to go help me kill the bad guy? Why didn't you say so? Sounds like a rad plan, and you know how I feel about the rad plans. But I hate to be a buzzkill, but it's been, what, approximately hella years since I did any fighting? I'm kind of rusty. Shit, don't let KK know I said rusty. Ugh. Hashtag hemophobic slurs. So I'm saying I had scads of time to perfect the killer hand plant? Wanna see? No, pretty sure don't give much a shit about a trick you can do on your four-wheel device. Though I will say, scads is actually a fish pun, so you made probably on accident. Which kind of makes me want to give you a hug, so it bounces out your dumb shit answer. Hashtag fish puns are my one weakness. Sorry, MP, I really am. I feel like such a wet, snuggle plane bailing on you like this. Though, maybe you could, like, wet snuggle planes since you can live underwater? I should probably run it by MT, see what he thinks. Oh shit, you and Captor? That's still a thing after all the pseudo time, or? Yeah. Still red? Uh-huh. Mother Glubber. Seriously, didn't think that'd last. I don't know. There's way more to him than there's way more to him than, well, all the terrible and stupid shit he says all the time. And it's always felt like he needs me, if that makes any sense. Even after dying, so there's that. Fucking afterlife. I know I'm new here, but it almost seems like you died and nothing means anything, and then you date forever. Sort of makes me want to puke. Hashtag, maybe in a nice way though? Couldn't see that wink behind your rad spec, FYI. An enemy way. If you change your mind, just let me know. Beelatula? Girl, who doesn't want to be me? You think you can just waltz into this bubble and start being any rad gamer girl you cross paths with? Yeah, right. You have to be a long way to go before you earn enough rad creds to be me, or, as I like to call them, crads. Latula, shut up and just tell me what horseshit thing you want me to do. It's gonna cost you. You have to be like all my raddest memories and then rebubble at least 413 of them. The number 413, not AIE. You cannot be serious. K-Tools, I'm outie. Wait, don't be like that. We can still cut a deal. Let me think. Alright, kid. Tell you what. Since I dig your style, I'll give you a shot. You may think you rule, whereas most others drool, but what I want to know is, how bad can you thrash stuff up? Just need to scope your kickflip chops, make sure everything checks out, see if your technique are where they needs to be at. Kickflip chops? Yeah, girl, show me your stunts. Maybe something in a hand plant? Oh, you know what should be the wicked malicious? Grinding down a rail. That ought to be a flagrant enough proof of your radness. Ashore. Hashtag 4 is a homonym again, yo. So whatever you say. Paycheck, you ready to start ripping up so many hellaciously hit shreds that this fierce, shitty biz nasty will start getting so deliriously rude brazen? Just give me the board, Pyro. You get Latula's 4-wheel device. Aw yeah, what's up, gamers? Ooh, open door. This door is locked. It appears to be guarding someone's private memories. Looks like it needs a password. I wonder who locked it. Mysterious symbol. Hashtag a clue. Bonus hint. It's card cap. The Knight of Blood. He keeps his shit on lock. Examine bubble. It's a little dream bubble, but it does not contain your memory. Only Porum can see what's inside. Hashtag sorry. Porum. Welcome back. Sup, Miriam? So your death certificate has barely dried, and you're already busy raising an army, I hear. How'd you even hear that already? Word travels fast here. Plenty of gossip. No one quite prepares you for the fact that on the other side of death is an infinite echo chamber of teen drama. Hashtag bubbler. Funny how when we left our world to play your game, we all thought we were leaving our juvenile school feeding days behind us. Yeah. All the more reasons to get out of here and fight bad guys and stuff. I noticed how you cunningly sidestepped an encounter with Kanku down there. Hashtag nicely done. Yeah. Nobody deserves having to meet a dead teen alt universe ancestor like that. I think he might be entertaining some delusion of taking him under his wing. Or if not his wing, the red fuzzy arm of his sweater. What is with that ugly thing anyway? I made it for him actually. For one thing, I got tired of looking at his stupid hiked up pants, which he refused to change. Ever. Seriously, did you even see him wearing anything else? Hashtag pants can. No. So unfashionable. Also, he was always shivering. It kind of gets chilly out here, and he just wouldn't stop. Not that I minded too much, but he has this way of making such vocal and ostentatious displays of suffering, like it's some kind of righteous state of being. It gets difficult for everyone to endure, especially after eons. Hence his nickname, I guess. Wait, nickname? If there's some new dig on Vantis, I need to know about it pronto. The Insufferable. Fuck yes! High five! Wait, forget it, my hand's still sore from Latula. Goddamn, rad girl. Bitch slaps hard! Oh, I know. You do? Wait, that's not officially like innuendo. You and her ever, I was under the impression you didn't come here to start trading gossip. Nah, you're right. Almost forgot to not be glubbing a fuck. Hashtag glub exactly 0 fucks. I apologize for prying into your ROM life. That was so shrimpulent of me. It's alright. It's not like I have many well-kept secrets. Come visit any time. We'll get you all caught up on exactly who's been seen passing through the well-greased revolving doors to my quadrants. Ask Porum to join. It's a noble idea, but I don't know how useful I'd be. Oh, come on! What's the size of your party so far? It's still just you, isn't it? Maybe? If I were you, I'd ask all the god tiers first. They'd given you the most tactical advantage, wouldn't they? Then you can build your coalition around them. Hashtag pajama parties, I guess. Plus, they're immortal, right? Or ghost immortal, perhaps? Dear God, it's finally come to this. We have to talk about ghost immortality now. In a serious way? Hashtag ghost immortality. Serious business. Lol, yeah. Anyway, that's what I'd do. But I think the thing is the Skull Lord might actually be able to kill god tiers. Hashtag at least ghost god tiers. Can he? Like bypass the whole judgment hullabaloo? Hullabalooga? That makes him resurrect? Hashtag quiz. You know, with the fancy clock and all? I don't know. You'll have to ask Arania. I'm sure she could talk your fin off on the subject. Hashtag silver words. Oof. Yeah, maybe later. Do you even know who all the god tiers are? There's Arania. Did you ask her? Yeah, but she has her own plan. Girl's going on a cherub jam or some bitch-ass noise. F that. Okay, well, I hope this isn't too invasive, but what about you? I've heard rumors that you reached god tier, but never let any on to anyone. Hashtag, except presumably Damara. You don't understand. It's just that fucking thief of life get up. Hashtag, looked like ass. I couldn't just parade around in that hideous thing. Hashtag, I got a reputation to consider. So it is true then. I thought so. See what I mean though? I wasn't sure about that until just now. Rumors are always flying, but secrets somehow persist. Who knows who else reached god tier? A lot can happen in 3 sweeps. I only know I didn't make it. But if you need someone to eerily phosphorescence in the demon's vicinity while debating whether to try drinking his blood, then I'd like to think I can easily crack the top 10 candidates you might consider for the job. Yeah, I know. You'd rock the glowing duties. Hashtag Poglow. I guess you're right. I should just see what other god tiers want to join. The problem is, I don't think becoming god tier stops you from being lame and terrible. Hashtag lame. Hashtag terrible. And we got a lot of people like that on our team. This is true. Guess I'll keep axing around. Gonna bounce, see him, Miriam. Bee pour him? Simple as. Examine bubble. It's a little dream bubble containing one of your memories. You look inside. The memory is from right here on Prospect. You spent a great deal of time there during long sweeps of your session. You remember this little precipice very well. But wasn't there a staircase here? You're almost positive there were stairs. Behold, the power of memory. Talk to Latula. Hey. Yo, what's up, girl? Latula, it's just me. I don't think anyone is looking. No need to go so heavy on the rad girl routine. Yeah, I guess you're right. I'll chill down a little bit. What's on your pan, Po Mary? Meeting our ancestors as kids, or, I mean, our descendants as kids, however you want to spin it. It has me thinking about our rebooted lives in Alternia, and what we grew up to be. Makes me wonder about fate, if it's something that's even comprehensible. Yeah? For instance, on Alternia, my relationship with Cancri seemed to make some sense. I could definitely see our lives becoming entangled in that way, karmically speaking. But then there were other developments that were still mysterious to me. Like, as far as I know, you and Arania always got along, didn't you? Hashtag Radglare, Kindfang. I guess. Never spent much time thinking about Circuit, to be honest. Although, always thought she was a self-absorbed snooze if you really want to know. Hashtag ZZZ, not even the rad kind of Z's. Exactly. Nothing much to your relationship to speak of at all. But in your post-Scratch lives, you had such major issues together. Even your descendants inherited it, and continued the contentious cycle until there was bloodshed. Hashtag Redglare. Mindfang. Really? Huh. Did you not know that? Hashtag Mindfang gave you 5, then left you hanging. Never really thought about it, but now that you mention it, that outcome makes all sorts of sense to me. It does? How? Just does, babes. I don't really understand karma. That's because you're not a mind player. Oh, could you explain to me how it works then? Psh, as if. That wouldn't be a very rad thing to do. Hashtag, do I look like Circuit to you? Hey, check out this extending hail flip. I don't. Sigh. Okay, let's see it. So, the radness is affect. But why? Well, it's complicated. Right, that led to functionally nothing. Talk to Cancri. Canny, leave this poor kid alone. I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't call me that. We've talked about this. That's what you call a wiggler. Do I look like a wiggler to you, Porum? No, I don't. It's been 3 sweeps, plus eternity. For excuse me, fuck's sake. I think we can safely retire that particular term of endearment. Call me anything but that. Even my other nickname. I'm actually okay with that one. Hashtag microaggressions. No, wait. Macroaggressions, more like. I'm not calling you the insufferable, Canny. Well, not unless I'm using it as an actual adjective. Hashtag, and even then, probably not to your face. Well, hashtag not often, I mean. It would be nice if you'd at least use my proper name in front of my studious young Alternian descendant. It really kind of erodes my credibility, and I don't need that in proximity of a fresh-faced youngster who clearly thirsts for knowledge. Why would you want to sabotage a fine young man's education like that? Hashtag fresh-faced youngster, knowledge thirst. Rolling my eyes here. Can't you see? Do you want me to light them up for you? No, but thanks for offering. Could you go roll them over there? Thank you. Now where was I? I don't think he cares. Hey there, Carcat. If you don't remotely mind me asking, are you even remotely interested in the loaf supplement this guy's serving? Gotcha. You just said all you needed to say. You know, you're actually very cute. That girl who's been wandering around in the dragon suit is a very lucky lady. Okay, wonderful. That conversation just came to an end. Porum, please don't hit on my rebooted kid ancestor descendant. It's really weird. Not to mention, he looks exactly like me. I mean, kind of obviously. So when you're hitting on him, it's like you're hitting on me at the exact same time, which like I said, it's weird. Not to get into all this again, but the thought of dating you, it's just a strange and vaguely off-putting idea. No offense, it almost makes me understand at a visceral level the bizarre human anathema of incest, which is something I can't really explain. I'm just saying. Hashtag trigger warning, incest, anathemas, viscerality, vaguely off-putting. Very deep sigh. Hashtag oh my god. I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry that I am perhaps literally the only one not to ever fall prey to your tireless, omnidirectional solicitations, or to get swept up in one of your innumerable flushed or colliginous flings. I happen to always prefer you as a friend. In any case, I always preferred to lead a relatively chaste existence, as it keeps me focused on fighting on behalf of truly important problems, although staying relatively chaste to you, I suppose, is not saying much. Hashtag hey. Once again, I apologize. I've blundered into the problematic territory of vacillation shaming, thus opening the floodgates to the myriad ways one may be disadvantaged upon by its staggering shame radius. I forgot to check my piety privilege. And here we are. I was going to cover this topic in a much later chapter of my lecture, but we've gotten badly derailed, haven't we? Not everything is about social justice and privilege. You can just be a rude asshole. Carcat, I'm sorry for this interruption. I promise I'll get back to my critical lecture as soon as this promiscuous busybody leaves us in peace. What? Yes, critical lecture, I'm sure. And I am right in being just as sure you are assiduously deconstructing every conceivable hypothetical form of injustice, no matter how obscure, except those that I happen to think are kind of important. No, just no, Porum, we're not doing this. I'm not going to pollute Carcat's utterly imperative crash course, in which he is introduced to the absolute basics by indulging in your pet issues. Yes, how dreadful it would be for your 69 million word essay to get bogged down by even the faintest reference to the roles of gender in Beforean and Alternian civilization. Look, it's not that I'm insensitive to your concerns on the topic. I'm interested to discuss them with you on an academic, primarily theoretical level. Theoretical! I'm just saying there's inherent danger in muddying the waters of discourse by introducing social issues which are suspect at best, thus consuming crucial resources from the limited cache of rhetoric which propels these narratives, and furthermore, one could argue it's more than a little problematic, offensive even, for you to be appropriating the lexicon of sensitivity used to advance awareness of major issues, thus reducing it to the level of buzzspeak in pseudoscience. It makes it more difficult for those of us who are genuinely focused on positive change to be taken seriously. That's all. Appropriating? Hashtag, that's not what that even means. Pseudoscience. Hashtag, you did not just. I'm sorry, I just don't think there's much there. We aren't like humans, whose species bizarrely enough includes highly specialized roles for both sexes in the process of reproduction, and so this naturally had social ramifications for the way their civilization evolved. But that's not how it works for us, so I fail to see how gender factors into the discussion in a way that can be effectively and rationally problematized. Where is the room for unexamined privilege in the dichotomy? I don't see it. In appropriating the talking points and awareness-raising tactics for dubious issues like this, frankly, is frowned upon. To put it politely, such appropriative gestures only serve to marginalize and invalidate those subjects to serious real-life struggles and suppression and oppression. I guess I'm a little disappointed to see you being so blithely and inappropriately appropriatory. Hashtag frowned upon. Frowns all around. Welcome to Frown Town. Canny. I'm starting to feel just a little bit triggered by all this appropriation bullshit. Hashtag trigger warning. About to kick your tall pantsed ass. Oh, my sincere apologies. I should have done better job tagging my statements, but for future reference, it's helpful to alert your conversational partners to your triggers well in advance. Should I go fetch your Moriel to help settle you down? And if so, who exactly would be filling that quadrant today? It's the mayor, right? Gotta be the mayor. Alright, obviously you're in one of your bratty moods. I'm gone. Don't be like that. Really, we can talk about whatever you'd like later, and I'll be really sympathetic, I promise. Just not around my pupil while he's still learning. Or my descendant. What did I say? Huh, Carcat. Anyway, Carcat. Again, I apologize for that. Now, where was I? Be Cankry. What? You want to be me? What sort of nonsense request is that? Can't you see I'm in the middle of a direly important word dump? Man-to-man conversation with Carcat? I might consider it if you asked more nicely, or at least more radically. So in order to get through the door, we need to become Latula in order to talk to Cankry, to get Cankry away from Carcat, to get Carcat to the door to open it. Got it. It all makes sense now. So let's talk to Mina. I really can't blame you for being in such a hurry to go kill him. Huh? The Lord of Time? Actually, it's a good example of what I've always been trying to say to Cankry, but he doesn't buy it. Hashtag snotty brat privilege. After the scratch, our world continued to be matriarchal upon superficial observation, but was subject to a considerably more sinister, cloaked form of patriarchal tyranny all along. What are you talking about? Your post-scratch self, who grew up to be the Empress, was really just the Lord's slave all along. Implicity during her long reign, through manipulation by his cunning employee, hashtag an excellent host, and then explicitly after the extinction of our race, she formally became his servant and did his bidding long thereafter. What? He did the same thing with Damara. She was his loyal time witch, helping him turn our world into the nightmare it became. When her usefulness came to an end, he pitted you and her against each other, in, I guess, a twisted redux of the conflict you and she had in the past. Hashtag the outcome was somewhat different this time. Yo, that is so messed up. The bottom line is, in addition to being an all-around bastard, this guy appears to enjoy being especially nasty to women. If it's true he's hunting down the ghost of his departed sister, then I really feel sorry for her. No, fuck that. I'm gonna slaughter that ugly muscle monster. I will steal his shitty coat and wear it on my throne. I will rip off his skull and gild it, and then I'll wear its crown while its bleeding green torso bows before me. Wow. Best of luck with that. Well, let's be Mina again. We will do a sick grind down the railing. Yes. That was so freaking radical! Holy smokes, girl. I didn't think you even had grinds like that. So you say you want to be me, huh? Well, you got it. Hells, girl. I'm not sure if I should be the one asking to be you. Be Latula.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
What's up, gamers? I'm Game Girl, and I'm here to
Gotta turn down the volume of this.
Game 2.
Talk to Porum.
Easy on me, guys, unless
Yo,
you
Pores, you see Paydirt's back? Hashtag girls in the hive.
Yo,
I
I'm
saw.
Game Girl, and I got the story.
Pretty rad, huh?
Game hard.
A life just scored a little more girl power. Hashtag less drool, more rule. Hey, give me 5. That's, ow, not so hard. That's good. What? Come on, I thought you'd be, of all people, would be psyched to get all a little more representation from the ladies up-ins. Why would that be? It's nice to see an old friend, but that's about it. Hashtag up-ins, meaningless on all levels. I think you're possibly still caricaturizing my point of view on the subject, assuming we're even talking about the same thing. Much the way your continued commitment to this overzealous rad girl thing still strikes me as a caricature of the kind of female strength and empowerment you're trying to project. Say what? That's bogus. I'm this rad because I like being rad. Radness rules. I know it rules, but there's such a thing as overdoing it. Hashtag, did I phonetically emphasize that Z enough? Don't you think it can come across as a series of affectations designed to overcompensate for an implicit flaw with your gender? An act which rebuts what should be a straw man with a cartoonish masquerade that with every kickflip and high five screams, yes, it appears that girls can be as radical and good as game as boys, thus lending a certain dignity to the premise at the expense of your own. Wait, what? Oh man. Hashtag rad time's officially harsh. What are you talking about, girl? Mina, where'd you go? Come help me be cynical about this. You can pretend to misunderstand all you want, but we've talked about this before, and I know you're smarter about this than you let on. We were raised in what was formerly a matriarchal society, which has always been used as a shield to downplay clear instances of female oppression and obfuscate the relevance of gender roles, particularly where they were weighted against women. But anyone who's looked down at our society and superficially observed as a matriarchy, own fuchsia down basis, own on a practical level all of the enforcement and political power governing most classes, was delegated to the higher CIPs, which were generally male-dominated castes. They got to control the agenda and dictate the social conventions, and anyone who dared to object or bring light to this could also be countered with, hey, matriarchy and a discussion. Hashtag fuchsia down matriarchy, purple down patriarchy. Accurate. The Empress might be in charge, but the clowns and indigo bloods are generally dudes. As such, it's dude customs that enforce all of the Empress's desires. Therefore, any matriarchal desires can only pass through the patriarchy pipeline. But you can also shoot down any talk of the, hey, the patriarchy pipeline exists by being like, hey, it's an Empress, it's a matriarchal society. Hey, yo, I'm fucking walking here. Girl, please, don't tell me you're going full Vantis on me here. No, if I were getting my Vantis on, we'd only be getting warmed up, but that's really all I have to say on the matter. Whew! I just think you should be yourself more often. We already know you're strong and good at games and all that. You have nothing to prove. Yeah, you're probably right. It's kind of stressful sometimes, keeping it up. Sometimes I forget to put Z's on the end of words, and I really stress out about it. Hashtag, especially when I'm on my meds. You know, I always did feel better talking to you. Like, I could talk to the edge of my rad thing and relax a little more. Then let's make it more of a habit, shall we? Hex, yes! Hey, thanks for the pep talk, Popo Mary Gams. That nickname. It's just so awful. Oh, whoops. Want me to switch back to porn star? Mary Gams will be fine. Alright, let's get Cankry away from that boy. Talk to Cankry. Bro, I hear you've been hassling the new kids. What's up with that? Hassling? Far from it. I've merely discovered a new and far less ungrateful flock, which has not yet become woefully jaded to my messages of positive social change. You can't fool me, Kanks. You're boring that poor dude to death. You just want to make a ghost out of him so you can keep him here forever. Which ain't right. You have to let that bro die of his own mad volitions. Can you scoot away on your little wheeled toy for immature wigglers? I was in the middle of a sermon. I mean, conversation. Why don't you save him some grief and give him one of your old memos? Remember those? How many sweeps did you spend trying to force us to read that trash? Hashtag Fruity Righteous Blowhard Factory. I don't remember, and no, I won't be sharing my old memos with him. They were written very poorly, and my methods of argumentation were flawed and extremely childish. I've deleted most of those memories from these bubbles, so don't bother rooting around for them. Frankly, they stunk. Hey! Oh, man, sorry. I completely forgot about that stunk was an ableist slur. Please forgive my insensitivity toward your disability. It's chill. I was only acting offended to bug you. No, really, it was inexcusable of me. I should be at least preceded my callous remark with a trigger warning. I have no business making a light of your impairment, thus failing to check my nasal privilege, and potentially bringing back painful and devastatingly triggering memories of the old cycle of revenge between you and some friends, which resulted in the loss of your olfactory sense. I have to admit, I was skeptical at first about whether or not that really qualified as a true disability warranting sensitivity and the promotion of awareness, but being close to you as a friend and carefully examining my privilege has really opened my eyes. Oops, that euphemism is slightly ableist to the blind, which I meant was broadened my horizons on the nature of disability. Sorry. Hashtag nasal privilege, horizons, broadness, horizontal width lengthening. Yeah, that's funny, because it's never really would have occurred to me to take it all that seriously for handicap without you making a federal case out of it for so long on my behalf, so thanks, Kank. Had mad disadvantaged bro times. My pleasure, really. It's truly amazing that you've managed to triumph over such adversity to become a great role model for others, excellent at video games, and totally stellar skateboarding person, all while being a girl no less. Even Karkat recognizes that, like, that's such a fucked up thing to say. I don't think there's anyone to talk to. Can I talk to Mina as Latula? Did I do that? Yo, Paystubs, my girl. Shit tools. I forget how many rad nicknames you like to cycle through. Hashtag passing out names like cheap cuttlefish. You know, I always thought Paycheck was kind of dope. Why don't you just stick with that? Right on. I like that one too. Paycheck it is. High five, girl. No, let's not. Ow. Ooh, sorry. Did I hurt you? No, I meant. Wow. Like, wow, that was a radical hand slapping. Sure fucking was. Dang, it's tight your back. That's cool, but aren't you overstating our prior relationship as something above neutral, just a tad? Hashtag tadpole. Yeah, it's a stretch to face upon. Gonna count it though. Well, maybe, but I had a lot of time to think both before all of it and after, and I came to some mad epiphanies about you, or us really. I was thinking about you all wrong. For most of the time we knew each other, I was like, why should there be two badass in your face girls in the group? Sort of overkill, right? Meh. Hashtag you serious? I was kind of viewing you as a competitor and like a two-girl rad-off. I was winning in my mind, of course, but see, I had it all wrong. Did you? Yeah, see, I'm the team's rad girl, whereas you're the team's bad girl. It all makes perfect sense. Doesn't that make so much sense? That is the stupidest clubbing thing to require any sort of rationalization I ever heard. Hashtag peak lame tools. See, Paycheck, I knew I could count on you to be justifiably cynical about my neurotic bullshit. You rule. Alright, so let's be Kankry. Be me? I'm not sure if that's... Ah, come on, Kankles, please! Well, okay, I'll interrupt my imperative dialogue just this once. For you. Dear Lord. Talk to Karkat. One moment, please, Karkat. I'm going to wander around briefly in an autonomous fashion. I know you're very excited to continue our discussion, and I promise I'll return very shortly so that we may resume. Just remain standing here in this exact spot while you take time to let the wisdom of my words take root in your heart. And try not to wander off with anybody, okay? Be right back. Talk to Latula. Oh, hey, Latula. I thought I heard your device grinding on various surfaces nearby. How are your athletic toy stunts going? Are you getting a lot of air? Am I saying that right? Hashtag, did you hang 10? No, that can't be right. You knows it, bro. You can't even touch this. I'm escaping to the side, from above, from every which way, basically. Well, I wasn't going to attempt to make any sort of physical contact with you, and even if I did, I have no doubt that you would be able to maneuver away from my grasp on your speedy little platform. Either way, I'm more than content to let you escape in any direction of your choosing, if that's your wish. Dude, just when I think you've already said the squarest thing possible, you go and say something like that. Haha, I guess. You know, it's really nice we can talk like this. It is? Yes, I was just thinking lately about our new post-scratched friends, particularly the young Vantis and Pyrope iterations on their team, and how they're pretty similar to us, but also really different. Yeah. Little me is blind. Did you even know that? Hashtag, have you seen her little dragon suit? So cute. Yes, but that's not really what I'm talking about. She and Karkat have a different relationship from the one we have. Theirs is much more turbulent, which is fueled presumably by romantic tension. I'm picking up some major vacillation vibes from their situation. It's kind of unfortunate, but it makes me grateful that we never got to that point. Hells yeah, who needs that? I'm sure it's mostly due to the fact that we've stayed almost entirely away from the sting bug's nest of romantic entanglement, which of course is related to my oath of celibacy, which, as you know, is just a personal choice. One which, for some reason, my post-scratch dealt itself eventually strayed from, with Yulin, of all people. But that's neither here nor there. Hashtag, seriously? I mean, she's nice, but really? You and Muse still cracks me up. Yes, but regardless, what I'm saying is, it's great we stayed away from that. It's helped me appreciate you as a friend, and admire all your good qualities. Platonically, of course. You're right, I've been pretty rad when you put it that way. Like, how you never bought into the usual roles of your caste as an Aqua, not even the more well-intended social conventions of your privileged aristocratic bloodline. You never looked down on anybody, or saw it as your civil duty to care for or improve the warmer classes, falling prey to unfortunate tendencies involving cerulean savior complex, or the blue blood's burden. Hashtag trigger warning on that, obviously, which sadly became so inseparable from the fabric of the spectral order within each class. Yeah, the basic idea is that any class-based society, whether the pyramid is small point up or small point down, it doesn't matter. That hierarchy ends up hurting everyone. Taking away everyone's agency and forcing them into any role is just not good. Conditioned to view those below in the same way. The obstacles to raising awareness were almost insurmountable, but unlike the cooler hues on our team, more privileged than you, like your circuits, your Sahaks, your Amporas, I never got the sense that you put the slightest bit of stock in any of that, and I think that's pretty amazing. Hashtag Cerulean Saviors, Teal Templars, Violet Valiants, and Purple Paladins. Yeah, that shit's a drag. Why would I bother with any of that? I mean, I'll help low bloods learn stunts and cheat codes if they want, but that's it. Right, and I'm just saying, if my head was ever clouded by romantic feelings for you, I probably wouldn't be able to appreciate that about you. Just like I wouldn't be able to appreciate the fairly cool Z's you put at the end of many words, or say things loudly with enthusiasm, even if it's not particularly warranted. Hashtag it rarely is. Yeah. Or the way your hair flows in the wind when you scoot over some sort of obstacle in your device really fast. Or the way you make this funny little noise just as you connect with one of your copious high fives, which can only be heard over the loud slap if you listen really closely. Yeah, I noticed some stuff like that. About you too, I guess. Heh. Or the way you've always shown kindness to people who needed help, without making them feel tragic or helpless for accepting it. Or the way you still manage to look stylish even without your cool shades, or sometimes when they're propped up on your head just in front of your horns. What? Or, I don't know if you remember that time Mina baked everybody a cake. It was the first sweep anniversary of entering the game. One of the rare moments of solidarity and good cheer among our entire team at once. Everyone was raving about how good the fresh baked cake smelled, so you took a big sniff, I guess forgetting for a moment you couldn't smell. Then you quickly caught yourself and played it cool, making sure no one noticed, which no one did, but I noticed. And I just thought that was kind of endearing. Anyway, I think all of that would have been completely lost on me if I didn't have the strong platonic bond. I just thought I'd say that. I guess I'll get along now. See you around, Latula. What? Porum? Can I beat Porum? Oh, Jesus Christ. What the fuck? Okay, so... Oh god, this area is getting a little crowded. I have to be Latula to be Cankry. Well, now I can talk to Porum. Oh, fuck. I can only talk to Porum. Oh, no. Okay, alright. We beat Porum. And then we move away. Fuck, no. Okay. Because I have to... I have to be Porum to be Latula. But, okay, I think I... Here we go. Alright, there we go.
Yeah. What's up, gamers?
Okay, now I can talk to Porum. This is gonna make my escape plan really fucked up, but whatever. It is what it is. Talk to Porum. In the future, I'll thank you not to embarrass me in front of my new disciples. Friends. I mean, friends. Hashtag, wait, what did I say? I definitely meant friends. I really don't need you policing my awareness-raising rhetoric. You're not my human mother. Hashtag weird human familial structures. What does that even mean? You would understand if you spent time actually researching other cultures to gain a more comprehensive foundational perspective on our systematic problems, instead of meddling in other people's enlightening and enormous conversations. I mean, enormous in progressive virtue. All these sweeps and you still act like such a wiggler sometimes. Hey, is that grub sauce on your face? What? No. Yes, it is. You have a big smudge of sauce right there. You're a mess. Canny, come here. No! Stop it! Don't touch me! I've got it! Hashtag, see? It's fine! Don't wipe it off on your sleeve. Oh my god, I just washed that for you! Hashtag, ghost laundry. I don't care. I didn't ask you to wash my sweater. I keep telling you, I have no interest in foreign possessions. Hashtag Oralturnian. Or earthly. We aren't on before us anymore. I worked hard on that sweater, and I'm not going to stand by while you encrust it in grub sauce. I was perfectly happy without the sweater, to be honest. I'm less than thrilled with how it obscures my pant line. Hashtag, you can't even see my nice belt. Sigh. Hashtag, you make me sigh so much, I'm almost left sightless. Why are you always so contrary with me? To be honest, I think your need to rebel against whatever I suggest is what drives your dismissal of my views more than anything about the views themselves. I don't dismiss your views. I respect them. I've told you this. I think the role of gender in before society is probably a really fascinating and advanced subject to explore. See? You and I can appreciate the subject. Of course, I just don't think anybody is ready for that yet. There are so many other hurdles to overcome first. Hurdles? Canny, you should seriously stop overthinking this stuff. Even I don't know what you're talking about most of the time. Look, I'm just saying it's a huge risk opening up that can of dirt noodles, trying to educate people on the subject on top of everything else. I just don't want to distract from all the more glaring issues that desperately need the full attention of our people if we're going to make any progress as a civilization. Progress as a civilization? Cancri, our people are extinct, and you're worried about distracting from more glaring issues? Everyone is dead! Porum, I'm very disappointed to hear you say that. That was an extremely corporeal normative remark. Hashtag corporeal normativity. Hashtag mortality privilege. Hashtag soul shaming. Jesus fucking Christ. Bitch, are you for real? Talk to Mina. Wait, whoa, Mina, I didn't see you come in. You should have come say hello. Oh, yeah, I didn't want to bother you and shoutier over there. And the shoutier you over there. Hashtag or talk or listen or be around you. It would have been alright. Karkat and I were only a few hours from wrapping up our first of what presumably will be many sessions together. You and I have so much to discuss. I've really crystallized some problems. Eternity has really helped me make some progress on issues that matter to everybody, even groups of people who don't technically exist. I've had a lot of time to think about it. And about us, our team, I mean, and the mistakes we've made, which were probably blessings in disguise. I know we had our differences, with you claiming the role as sort of our de facto leader in terms of strategy and execution, literal execution, I suppose, while I rose to prominence among our peers as the undisputed spiritual shepherd of the group. Hashtag herding all these goddamn wool beasts. Fucking pain in the ass. Whatever you say. Hashtag undisputed spiritual shepherd. I've also heard you're recruiting members for a militia. Another bold endeavor. Not surprising, though. Before you embark, I do hope you at least set aside at least several sweeps to listen to some of my... Hey, Vantis! I really want to hear more of your garbage and listen to it all with hella bated breath. Like, I really, really missed it. You have no idea. But I have to go do a thing. Hashtag, yeah. Real quick. Oh, can you wait, like, right here? Exactly this spot. For a few minutes. Absolutely. Really, no hurry. I'll take the time to prepare some of my opening statements to better contextualize my prohibitively loquacious harangue. I mean, friendly banter. BRB, dog. Be Mina? Yes, absolutely yes. Now let's get the fuck out of here. Psst. Hey, Vantis. What? Now's your chance. Let's blow this nautical stand. Hashtag nautical popsicle. And close enough. Oh, I don't think I'm supposed to. Shouty, you can't let that boring nerd tell you how to roll. You want to stand here listening to his shelf-important abalone all day? Not really. Hashtag shelf-important abalone? Goddamn sea dwellers. Then come on! We have acquired one car cat. Can I walk up these stairs without being noticed? Yes, Kankri is so completely oblivious in his notes, I can just walk past him. Open door. Vantis, give me a password. Huh? This is your door, ain't it? What makes you say that? The symbol on the door is the same on your fucking shirt. Come on, it ain't blast-off device science. Okay, yeah, it's mine. Maybe I got tired of interloping shitbags, traipsing through my private and personal memories. You don't need to whisper anymore, ain't no one around. Oh! Now what's that password? Move over, I'll type it in for you. No, just tell me, Shouty. Oh my god, it's most unreasonable. How is it not pretty much the most reasonable fucking thing in the world to let me just type my own fucking password? Dude, do you want Kankri to find you and talk your nubs off again? No, anything but that. Hashtag, oh dear god. Alright, I'll tell you, just don't go blabbing it around. The password is... What? What? Bro, you gotta speak up. If I hate myself so much, then why don't I hate marry myself? That's your P word? What in the glubs does that mean? Nothing. It's none of your business. It's just something that reminds me of an old friend. Alright, can we get going now? Fuck yeah, this way, Shouty. You will not regret hitching your wagon to my stockfish. Ugh. Actually, I am gonna go back. I got the horse hitcher. Does that count as a horse? Oh, he will just keep following me around. Does any dialogue change? No. Can I go? No, I can't go around that and get up the... Oh, they're just stairs I walk down. You didn't see fucking nothing. Oh, Jesus Christ. Hey, get lost, kid. This is my hiding place. Can't you see English is coming for me? Hashtag Dota, again. He's coming for us all. Oh, goddamn. You got a Ribitar. Foes everywhere tremble at the mere sight of this lethal amphibious scourge. So overwhelming is their terror that... yeah, right. This sword is almost too ridiculous for words. It's a nice conversation piece, though. Hashtag, oh shit, is that made of ruby? Come to mama. That's a spooky thing about penis Ouija. You can never be sure who did the dicks. He says, I don't know, gullible enough to trust a lead-speaking troll who wants you dead and strap on a rocket pack because she said so. Fair enough. Ugh, where's my run button? Where's my fast travel? Ugh, God. What antiquated design. Okay. Nobody seems to notice that Carcat is following me, or no one seems to respond or react to it. That's fine. How deep and verbose do you want this fucking minigame to even be? You know what I mean? But seriously, this horse hitcher though. Dear sweet God, have I actually been talking for an hour and a half straight? Oh my God, you did it. You didn't. You didn't! Could it be? You did! You brought me a horse! Look at this glorious knotted up horse hitcher. This is the most amazing present I've ever received. I'll cherish it forever. So hey, do you come here often? Hashtag Riskahoo. Oh my god. Well, a deal is a deal. I am now at your command. Why? Why did I have to bring this idiot that horse hitcher? Huh. There's gotta be something I can do here. God. This is fucking Entourage. Nope. Okay, so there's no response. I've got to say, the Ghost Eyes is a great piece of visual design, instantly being able to tell who's alive and who's dead. God damn it, there's another version of you right fucking there. Can I do something with that? Shit. Is there a secret passage? Apparently not. Ooh. Ooh. You got a gold tiara. You have no intention of wearing this thing, but it doesn't hurt to start stockpiling loot again. Now that you're dead, you're finding yourself a little light on collateral. You know what I'm saying. Alright, there we go. Oh, wait, hold on. No. Okay. There's gotta be something cool I can do with this, but I'm not exactly sure what. Also, how far is this dude gonna follow me? Also, like, my ultimate goal here is, can I make Hussy talk to himself? Can I crash this little soiree? Why would I want to after I've come so far? That's the gamer life, yo. You undertake a hard, nigh difficult, impossible challenge, and then accomplishing it only actually makes your life worse. And then instead of feeling bad, you feel good about it. Okay, he will just keep following me around. I have this dude forever. Huh. Does anyone comment about the squash guy? The orange guy? How bizarre. No. I can't talk to him. There's gotta be a wackadoo Easter egg for this shit. I just don't know what it is. Maybe if I take him beyond the door, something will happen. Yeah, it's still following me. I just want to make sure. Okay. I can't talk to Cancry while I have Karkat in tow. Makes sense. It would blow the whole thing. Okay. He's still following me, but Karkat's gone. So Shouty. Or Cankrat, was it? Be meaning to ask you, hey! Where do you run off to? It's so hard making friends. Oh, God. You got a 2010 Spirited Horse calendar. You flip through it and yep, Hearts Boxcars is still farming all those goddamn horses. Hashtag fucking pain in the red cheeks. What do I do with this asshole? Exposition. 5 boonbucks. The sylph is in. Hey, you seen where Louder Vantus went? Yes, I saw him scurry by a moment ago. He went that way into a memory of his old neighborhood. Man, what gives? Does my breath stink, or do I need a fish mint? I think he just wants to be alone. He tried to lock his memories away from others. I guess without realizing these bubbles can be very permeable. If the memory is big enough, people will be able to wander into it from many directions. He probably won't be too happy to find more of our friends hanging out there. Oh shit, more of the old gang is that way? Guess I better go talk to them too. Hashtag yay, more useless tools. Probably have to bail Shouty out yet again. Damn kid makes you work. That's probably why you're obsessed with him. Shut up. Circuit, what are you doing? Yo, what is this shit? You selling something here? If so, I should warn you I'm a little low on funds these days. I'm offering explanations. I will explain anything you desire. You must be out of your sea sponge if you think I'm a part with anything of value for a shitty speech. Oh no, you misunderstand. It is I who will pay you 5 boonbucks if you listen to an explanation on any topic of your choosing. Oh, hashtag good grief. So what topic will it be? Hashtag hang on, I'm thinking. Can't decide on a topic? No, can't decide if it's worth listening to you even if you pay me. Now I know you're messing with me. I know you can't say no to easy money. Yeah, you're right. Hashtag, if I fall asleep, do I still get paid? Lay it on me. Tell me about DraxxKraven. The Seer of Blood played quite a different role in our team from that of his successor, though his potential as a blood player was similarly unrealized. It was only when he grew up on Alternia did he begin to tap into his abilities, triggering recollection of our lives on before us, and what we all went through. He remembered our more peaceful way of life and his desire to unite our people. As an adult, he was able to do much more effectively and maturely, heroically even. He learned how to inspire others and be a true leader, even when the odds were stacked against him in his violent culture. It cost him his life, but his message lived on. I believe the Knight of Blood now carries his burden, whether he's decided to accept it or not. Many of us on Alternia grew up to become secret followers of his teachings. Just as many of us now follow them, though I'd say with a bit more detachment, because we're dead. Speaking personally, I'd refer to myself as more of a fan of his story, of what it represents, both the hidden potential in our friend he never quite found, and the hidden potential in all our people. During our session, Kankri's trials as a leader were just as frustrating as those of his successor. He found it very hard to get others to take him seriously, while you were often tried to divide us with your troublemaking, and turn us against each other to make us stronger. Unsuccessfully, I might add. He would try to unite us through proselytizing and lecture, just as unsuccessfully. Well, it sure was a bunch of stuff I already knew. Yes, and now it is fresher in your memory than ever. Thank you for listening, and here are your 5 boon dollars. Pleasure doing business with you. Tell me about Latula Pyrope. The Knight of Mind, to even the most casual observer, is clearly the more radical instance of the 2 Pyropes. Both, of course, have disabilities, which, if discovered, would slate each for culling in their respective cultures. Culling, of course, means something quite different on Before Us. It would mean she would have been selected by a member of a higher caste for adoption, and coddled excessively. But for someone with a lifestyle as radical as hers, I'm sure you would agree that it would have been a fate worse than death. Circuit, yo, this exposition is just some straight-up redonkulous junk, even by your standards. Would you like to make some money or not? Yo, you know me, I'm all about the boonjamins. Then please stand... boonjamins. Fuck, I'm all about the boonjamins. Then please stand there quietly while I continue. Finn. After the tragic accident which left her nasally impaired, her mighty dragon Lucis, ancient and wise beyond our comprehension, began to teach her new ways to smell, to reinvent the sense, using other sense organs such as eyes and ears, awakening completely new experiences in her mind. She was truly an inspiration, and proved beyond a shadow of doubt that any handicap can be overcome. It doesn't have to stop you from being as rad as you can truly be. What? Circuit, are you whistling through my blowhole with this idiotic shit? Yes, that last part was a joke. Lighten up, Pixies. Yeah, what do we have to do to seal this deal here? Hashtag seal, you know, the marine bark beast. Well, just tell me the bare minimum of what I need to stag my boonies and run. Okay, even though Latula has been dating Mituna steadily for eons, it's hardly a secret to anyone that she and Kankri have complicated, unrequited feelings for even longer. So really, much like their descendants, and we're done. Here you go. Fucking score. Tell me about poor Miriam. The Maid of Space was of course our all-important space player and stoker of the Forge, but as you know, we never made much progress on the frog breeding front, or really any aspect of the game before the Reckoning. Way too disorganized, way too much teen drama, much of that drama of course centered around Kankri and Porum, tended to be the one to keep him out of the trouble. This relationship persisted in their lives on Alternia, which unfortunately didn't work out too well for her in the end. I'd address my involvement with that, but you seem to be tapping your foot, so I'll just skip over that part of the story. On before us, well before her drinker abilities awakened, she grew up in the caste almost solely devoted to tending to the mother grub, hatching the young and proliferating the brood. The Jade Bloods were also in an almost exclusively female caste, and she began to resent the role she was hatched into, designated for both her class and gender. She challenged these roles wherever they existed and before in society, as well as where she found them woven into our session, in kingdoms, class assignments, consort culture, and the like. But over the sweeps in our failed session, she found within herself a renewed interest in the duty that came with her bloodline, which was, of course, the persistence of our people, a burden which her descendant now must bear. All life on before us had been wiped out, and we'd failed our game, so she helped me search for a way to reset the Z's. I was almost finished. You're just telling me some shit I know, sir. She was sort of my friend too, remember? Can't you spice this jam up? Didn't she, like, sleep with everybody? Give me all the dirt on that. What? No, Mina, I'm not paying you so that you can listen to me indulge in such scandalous gossip. Now, what was I talking about? Gosh, I've lost my train of thought. Why you blushing, girl? Oh my god, you and she. Hashtag noodles of intense curiosity. Oh man, why didn't you ever tell me? I thought we was friends. Look, 3 sweeps is a long time to spend in a failed, pointless session. You look into the future and see a life lasting for maybe thousands of sweeps with nothing to look forward to, and it was just kind of a phase. It was just a little red fling, okay? It barely even lasted half a sweep, and hey, if I give you 10 boon books, can we stop talking about this? Make it a cool 100 and you got a deal. Fine, just take it. Her imperious condescension thanks you for your generous contribution to the new empire. I'm glad you're a good guy this time. You really were hatched to be such a bitch. Peace out. This leads to the end of the game. Are you sure you're done here? Yes. That's the end. Continue playing on the next page. Pause. You're damn fucking right we're pausing. I told you this was going to take a while. I warned you about time. I told you, dog.